Ambassador Naomi Winter stood at the observation deck of the Earth diplomatic vessel Harmony, watching the swirling nebula patterns of the Cassiopeia sector paint the void in shades of purple and blue. The ship's quantum sensors had detected an unknown civilization's presence in this previously unexplored region, and humanity's first official diplomatic mission was about to begin. "Ambassador, we're receiving a transmission," Lieutenant Raj Patel announced from his communication station. "The Canthian vessel is requesting permission to establish visual contact." Naomi smoothed her Navy diplomatic uniform and nodded. "Accept the transmission, Lieutenant. Let's make history." The holoscreen materialized, revealing a being whose appearance challenged human expectations. The Canthian diplomat had iridescent skin that shifted colors like the aurora borealis, with large, expressive eyes that seemed to contain swirling galaxies. "Greetings, Earth vessel." The alien spoke, their voice creating harmonics that made the air itself vibrate pleasantly. "I am Diplomatic Envoy Zephyr Song of Dawn, representing the Canthian Collective." Naomi smiled warmly. "I am Ambassador Naomi Winter of the United Earth Alliance. We come in peace and friendship. Your reputation precedes you," Zephyr Song of Dawn responded, their skin shifting to a curious shade of turquoise. "We have observed your species from afar. Your rapid advancement from planetary civilization to quantum space travel in mere centuries is unprecedented. We've found that necessity and curiosity make powerful companions," Naomi replied. "Humanity has always dreamed of reaching the stars." The Canthian's eyes sparkled with interest. "Yet you chose to send a diplomatic vessel rather than a military fleet. This speaks well of your species' priorities." Lieutenant Patel cleared his throat softly. "Ambassador, the Canthian vessel is sharing their technical specifications. Their quantum drive technology is fascinating. They're using principles we haven't even theorized yet." "We noticed your interest in our propulsion systems," Zephyr Song of Dawn commented. "Perhaps we could arrange an exchange of knowledge. We find your innovative approach to solving quantum engineering problems quite intriguing." Naomi recognized the diplomatic opening. "We would be honored. Would you care to dock with the Harmony? We could continue our discussion in person." The Canthian's skin rippled with patterns that suggested agreement. "A wonderful suggestion. Though I should warn you, our atmospheric requirements are quite different from yours. We've prepared for such possibilities," Naomi assured them. "Our meeting chamber can adjust its environment to accommodate both species comfortably. We've learned that the best diplomatic solutions often come from careful preparation and willingness to adapt." As the massive Canthian vessel maneuvered alongside the Harmony, Naomi reflected on humanity's journey to this moment. Their ships might be smaller and their technology less advanced in some areas, but humanity's greatest strength had always been their ability to bridge differences and find common ground. "Ambassador," Zephyr Song of Dawn said, their tone carrying what seemed to be amusement, "we've analyzed your ship's database that you shared. Is it true that your species developed faster than light communication because you wanted to reduce lag in entertainment programs?" Naomi laughed. "Sometimes the most significant breakthroughs come from the simplest desires. We've found that innovation often flows from trying to solve everyday problems." The docking procedure began, and both crews worked together to create a stable connection between the vessels. As the airlocks engaged and environmental systems synchronized, Naomi prepared for humanity's first face-to-face meeting with the Canthians. This was more than just first contact. It was the beginning of a partnership that could reshape the galaxy. Lieutenant Patel's console suddenly lit up with alerts. "Ambassador, we're detecting multiple ships entering the sector. Their energy signatures don't match either of our civilizations." Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin darkened with concern. "Scavenger fleets. They prey on diplomatic meetings like this, assuming we'll be too focused on ceremony to mount an effective defense." Naomi's expression remained calm, but her mind raced with possibilities. "Then let's show them how two civilizations can work together. Lieutenant Patel, implement Protocol Aurora. Envoy Zephyr Song of Dawn, would you be interested in demonstrating the true power of diplomatic cooperation?" As the scavenger ships approached, they would soon learn that underestimating either humanity or the Canthians was a serious mistake. The real question was whether they would survive long enough to appreciate the lesson in interspecies cooperation they were about to receive. The scavenger fleet emerged from quantum space like a swarm of metallic locusts, their ships' hulls covered in a patchwork of stolen technology. Through the Harmony's observation window, Naomi counted at least 12 vessels of varying sizes, all bristling with weaponry. Fascinating adaptation of their shield geometry, Lieutenant Pottle remarked, studying his readings. They're using overlapping fields to compensate for their technological mismatches. Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin rippled with patterns that Naomi was beginning to recognize as tactical analysis. These are the Shadow Consortium vessels. They'd been growing bolder in recent cycles. Incoming transmission, Pottle announced. Audio only. A gravelly voice filled the bridge. Surrender your vessels and prepare for boarding. Resistance will result in your destruction. Naomi exchanged glances with Zephyr Song of Dawn, whose skin now pulsed with a pattern she hadn't seen before. They're not very original with their threats, are they? She commented. Ambassador, Pottle interrupted, you might want to see this. The Canthian vessel's quantum field is harmonizing with ours. I've never seen anything like it. Zephyr Song of Dawn's eyes sparkled. We noticed something unique about your shield modulators. They resonate at frequencies that complement our defensive systems perfectly. Was this intentional? Actually, Naomi smiled. That's a result of our engineers' obsession with efficiency. They discovered that certain quantum frequencies were more energy efficient while trying to optimize our coffee makers. The Canthian's skin flickered with what might have been laughter. Your species' approach to innovation continues to surprise us. Shall we show our uninvited guests what happens when human ingenuity meets Canthian precision? The scavenger fleet was closing in, their weapons charging. They clearly expected an easy victory against what appeared to be a diplomatic vessel and its escort. They had no way of knowing they were about to witness something unprecedented in galactic history. Lieutenant Patel, Naomi ordered, initiate Protocol Aurora. Envoy, if you would synchronize your defensive systems with ours. The effect was immediate and spectacular. The quantum fields of both ships merged and expanded, creating a swirling aurora of energy that encompassed both vessels. The Scavenger's first volley of weapons fire dissipated harmlessly against the combined shield. Their weapons are having no effect, Pottle reported, unable to keep the excitement from his voice. The quantum resonance between our ships is creating a cascade effect. Our defensive capabilities have increased by at least 300%. The scavenger fleet's formation faltered as they realized their predicament. Their commander's voice came through again, less confident now. What trickery is this? Not trickery, Naomi responded calmly. Just the result of two civilizations working together. I suggest you reconsider your choices. Instead of retreating, the scavengers launched a concentrated attack on what they perceived as the weakest point in the combined shield. It proved to be a costly mistake. Energy buildup in the quantum field, Patel warned. It's channeling their weapons fire through some kind of feedback loop. Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin pulsed with excitement. The resonance between our systems is creating something new. Your shield modulators are converting their attack energy into a usable form. The scavenger fleet's weapons suddenly went dark as their power systems overloaded. Their ships drifted helplessly in space, caught in the quantum wake of their own failed attack. Well, Naomi observed, I believe this demonstrates the benefits of diplomatic cooperation rather effectively. Shall we offer them the opportunity to surrender? Or would they prefer a more thorough demonstration? The scavenger commander's response was immediate. We surrender. Please, show mercy. As the combined crews of the Harmony and the Canthian vessel coordinated to secure the disabled scavenger fleet, Naomi turned to Zephyr Song of Dawn. I believe we were about to discuss cultural exchange. This seems like an excellent first lesson in how our civilizations can complement each other. The Canthian skin shimmered with patterns of agreement and amusement. Indeed, Ambassador Winter. Though I must admit, I'm now extremely curious about these coffee makers that led to such remarkable shield technology. Looking at the disabled scavenger fleet, Naomi couldn't help but smile. Sometimes the best way to forge lasting peace was to face adversity together. And if humanity's unconventional approach to technology continued to surprise their new allies, well, that was just an added bonus. The interrogation chamber aboard the Harmony hummed with the soft pulse of containment fields. Naomi studied the captured scavenger captain, a cybernetically enhanced humanoid whose mechanical implants pulsed with a sickly green light. Beside her, Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin rippled with patterns of concern. The Shadow Consortium doesn't usually operate in this sector, the scavenger captain said, his synthetic eye whirring as it focused. We were contracted. By whom? Naomi asked, noting how the captain's organic eye twitched. They called themselves the Nexus Collective. Paid triple our usual rate to disrupt any diplomatic contact between humans and Canthians. He shifted uncomfortably. They were particularly interested in preventing any technological exchange. Lieutenant Patel's voice came through the comm. Ambassador, we've finished decoding their ship's data core. You need to see this immediately. In the Harmony's tactical room, holographic displays showed a vast network of quantum signal patterns stretching across multiple sectors. Patel pointed to a cluster of unusual energy signatures. These readings suggest someone's been experimenting with forced quantum field collapse. The scale is disturbing. Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin darkened to a deep indigo. These energy patterns match anomalies we've detected near our outer colonies. Several outposts have gone silent in recent months. The Nexus Collective, Naomi mused, studying the data. They're afraid of what happens when our civilizations work together. The question is why. A sudden alert blared through the ship. Multiple quantum ruptures detected, Patel announced. Something's coming through. It's massive. The viewport filled with a sight that made everyone freeze. A tear in spacetime split the void, and through it emerged a vessel that dwarfed both the Harmony and the Canthian ship combined. Its hull seemed to bend light around it, making it difficult to focus on directly. By the first song, Zephyr Song of Dawn whispered, their skin pale with recognition. That's Nexus architecture. We thought they were extinct millennia ago. The massive ship's presence seemed to distort the very fabric of space around it. Smaller ruptures began appearing throughout the sector, each one threatening to destabilize the quantum fields holding their ships together. Their technology, Patel reported, his fingers flying over his console. It's like they're rewriting the laws of physics locally. Our shields are failing. Naomi watched as the Harmony's advanced defensive systems crumbled under the impossible energies being directed at them. But something caught her attention, a pattern in the quantum fluctuations that seemed oddly familiar. In voice, she turned to Zephyr Song of Dawn, the resonance we created earlier between our shields. Could we modify it? These ruptures, they're following a mathematical sequence I've seen before. The Canthian skin suddenly lit up with understanding. In your quantum coffee makers, the efficiency patterns. Exactly. Lieutenant Patel, reconfigure our shield modulators to match the frequency of my personal coffee maker. The one with the experimental quantum heating core. Ambassador, Patel stared at her. That's not exactly standard protocol. Neither is facing an extinct civilization's superweapon, she countered. Sometimes the best solutions come from unexpected places. As Patel worked, Zephyr Song of Dawn's ship began adjusting its quantum field to complement the Harmony's modified shields. The result was immediate and stunning. Where the spatial ruptures touched their combined barrier, they began to stabilize, the impossible energies being redirected and harmonized. It's working, Patel exclaimed. The quantum resonance is creating a stable field that's actually feeding off their attacks. But, Ambassador, I'm detecting something strange from within the Nexus vessel. It's almost like what, Lieutenant? Like it's sending us a message, through the quantum field itself. And ma'am, It's in human binary code. Naomi and Zephyr Song of Dawn exchanged glances. The mystery of the Nexus Collective was deeper than either of them had imagined. Someone or something aboard that impossible ship knew humanity would be here, knew about their technology, and most importantly, knew exactly how they would respond to this attack. "Well," Naomi said, straightening her uniform, "I believe it's time we answered their call. After all, that's what diplomacy is about, opening channels of communication, even in the most unexpected circumstances." The massive Nexus vessel loomed before them, a dark monument to technologies long lost to time. But as Naomi prepared to respond to their mysterious message, she couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter would change not just human and Canthian society, but the very nature of life in the galaxy itself. The binary message pulsed through the quantum field, its translation appearing on the Harmony's main display. "The experiment continues. The variables have aligned." "Those aren't words from a hostile entity," Zephyr Song of Dawn observed, their skin shifting through patterns of deep thought. "They're observations, scientific notations." Naomi studied the massive Nexus vessel, its impossible geometry still challenging her eyes. "Lieutenant Patel, can we establish a more direct communication channel?" "Working on it, Ambassador. The quantum resonance from your coffee maker configuration is actually giving us a stable foundation for communication." The holoscreen flickered to life, revealing an interior that defied conventional physics. Multiple layers of reality seemed to overlap, and in the center stood a figure that caused both Naomi and Zephyr Song of Dawn to gasp. It appeared to be both human and Canthian simultaneously, its form shifting between the two species like a quantum particle, refusing to settle into a single state. When it spoke, its voice carried harmonics that resonated with both cultures. "We are the interface," it said, "the bridge between what was and what must be." Naomi stepped forward. "You're from the future." "We are from all possible futures," the interface replied. "The Nexus Collective exists outside conventional time. We have witnessed the collapse of countless civilizations, each failing to overcome their fundamental differences before the Great Barrier." "The Great Barrier?" Patil asked. "A quantum threshold all technological civilizations eventually face. Most species approach it in isolation, their limited perspective ensuring their failure. But you," the interface's form flickered, focusing more on its human aspect. "You created quantum field harmonics by optimizing beverage preparation. And you," it shifted to its Canthian form, addressing Zephyr Song of Dawn. "You recognized the potential in their chaotic innovation." The interface gestured, and the space around their ships transformed. They saw visions of countless civilizations rising and falling, each approaching the same technological threshold alone, each failing spectacularly. "The barrier requires both precision and chaos," the interface explained. "Structure and innovation. The Canthian understanding of quantum harmonics combined with human creative problem-solving. We have engineered this meeting across thousands of potential timelines, seeking the perfect resonance." "The scavenger attack," Naomi realized. "You orchestrated it to test our cooperation. A necessary variable. The barrier approaches faster than you know. Other species are already falling. The galaxy itself will begin to unravel unless a stabilizing force emerges." Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin pulsed with determination. "Our combined shield technology is merely the beginning," the interface completed. "But time grows short. The quantum instabilities you've detected near your colonies are symptoms of the barrier's approach. You must complete the bridge between your civilizations before it's too late." Suddenly, alarms blared across both ships. "Massive quantum disturbance," Patel shouted. "Something's tearing through subspace." The viewport filled with a sight that challenged sanity itself. A wave of pure quantum destruction, reality unraveling at its edge. The barrier had arrived early. "Choice point," the interface announced calmly. "Show us what harmony between chaos and order can achieve." Naomi turned to Zephyr Song of Dawn, both of them understanding what needed to be done. Human ingenuity and Kanthian precision would have to merge more completely than ever before. Lieutenant Patel, Naomi commanded, initiate full quantum field integration with the Kanthian vessel. Envoy, shall we show the universe what true cooperation looks like? As their ships began a dance of quantum harmonics that had never been attempted before, the barrier approached, testing whether this unique partnership could indeed save not just their own civilizations, but the entire galaxy itself. The real question was, would the combination of human chaos and Kanthian order be enough to overcome the greatest challenge any species had ever faced? Reality itself seemed to bend as the quantum barrier approached, its edge dissolving stars into abstract mathematical concepts. The combined shields of the Harmony and the Kanthian vessel pulsed with unprecedented power, their quantum resonance creating patterns never before seen in this universe. Shield harmonics at 300% beyond theoretical limits, Paddle reported, his voice tight with concentration. The coffee maker's quantum core is somehow acting as a probability anchor. Zephyr Song of Dawn's skin blazed with patterns of pure energy as they interfaced directly with their ship's systems. The barrier is trying to enforce order on a quantum level. It seeks to eliminate quantum uncertainty itself. Then let's give it some chaos, Naomi decided. Lieutenant, remember that glitch in the shield modulation? The one that kept turning our coffee into quantum probability clouds. Ambassador, you can't be serious. Interface. Naomi called out to the shifting entity still observing them. You said we needed both precision and chaos. Well, watch this. She initiated what the Harmony's crew had nicknamed the Caffeine Protocol, a deliberate destabilization of their quantum shield harmonics that should have torn both ships apart. Instead, something miraculous happened. The Kanthian vessel's precise quantum fields caught the chaotic energy patterns, channeling them into complex geometric formations that began to resonate with the barrier itself. Where order met chaos, new forms of reality began to emerge. Extraordinary. The interface commented, its form shifting more rapidly between human and Kanthian. You're not fighting the barrier. You're teaching it to dance. The space around them transformed into a symphony of quantum possibilities. Every cup of coffee ever made, every song ever sung by the Kanthians, every moment of inspiration and precision merged into a new form of existence that bridged the gap between chaos and order. Ambassador, Patel called out, other ships are appearing. From all over the galaxy. Through the quantum storm, vessels of countless civilizations emerged, drawn to the resonance pattern created by the human-Kanthian alliance. Each one added their own unique quantum signature to the growing harmony. The interface's form stabilized into something entirely new, a perfect blend of all sentient life. This is what we sought across a million timelines, not just survival, but transcendence through cooperation. The barrier, instead of destroying reality, began to transform it. The quantum resonance spread across space-time, creating a new framework where order and chaos could coexist, where coffee makers could inspire quantum breakthroughs, and where the precision of ancient species could guide the creative chaos of younger ones. Beautiful, isn't it? Naomi asked Zephyr Song of Dawn as they watched reality reshape itself around them. All this time, the barrier wasn't a test of technological advancement. It was a test of unity. The Kanthian finished, their skin glowing with patterns never before seen in their species. The ability to embrace differences and find strength in them. The interface began to fade, its purpose fulfilled. The experiment is complete. The variables have found their perfect expression. A new age begins. As the quantum storm settled, the galaxy had changed. The barrier had become a bridge, connecting all species in a dance of chaos and order. Ships from across space-time hung in formation around the Harmony and its Kanthian partner, their crews witnessing the birth of a new era of galactic civilization. Lieutenant Patel cleared his throat. Ambassador, you'll be pleased to know that the coffee makers are working perfectly again. though I should mention that every cup now seems to contain infinite possibilities. Well, Naomi smiled, turning to Zephyr Song of Dawn. Shall we celebrate with a drink that defies quantum physics? The Canthian's skin sparkled with joy. I believe your species has a saying. Coffee is best served with good company and infinite possibilities. As the crews of both ships gathered to celebrate, the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, resonating with the new harmony that had been forged between order and chaos, between precision and creativity, between all the species of the galaxy. The barrier had sought to enforce universal laws, but instead it had helped create something far more powerful, a universe where differences weren't just accepted but celebrated, where every cup of coffee might contain the next great breakthrough, and where the combined wisdom of all species could light the way forward into an infinite future of possibilities. And somewhere, in the quantum probability clouds that had once been normal space, the interface smiled, knowing that after countless attempts across countless timelines, it had finally found the perfect blend of chaos and order in the most unlikely of places, a human coffee maker and a Canthian quantum drive.